Om Sehna Vavatu Sehnam Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om and welcome. I'll chant the Mangalacharan. Vasudevendra Yogendram Natva Jnana Pradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Vidhiyate. Vastu Sangra Vakya. साधन चतुष्ट संपन्न अधिकारिणाम मोक्ष साधन भूतम तत्व विवेक प्रकारम वक्ष्यामः. Acharya has promised to expound on what is the method for Tattva Vivek. And what has he defined Tattva Vivek as? Atma Satyam and Tadanyat Mithya. So, Atma alone is Satya and Tadanyat Sarvam Mithyeti. Other than that, everything is Mithya. So, it is not, Satya is not to be taken as truth and untruth, falsehood. It's not this. It is real and unreal. So real includes both existence and eternity or non-changing. And unreal is which exists but changes and therefore comes to an end. Badhyate, negated. It gets negated sometimes or the other. That's the essential difference. We have to always remember this because Tattva Vivek this is what Tattva Vivek is. Now, merely reading this doesn't make us very wise because the question arises, what is Atma? We hear about Atma, but what is it? So now Atma is a very subtle thing, subtler than even the causal body which you were reading yesterday. So, since it can't be perceived by the senses, it is indicated. How is it indicated? It is indicated by saying it is not this, it is not this, it is not this. Then what is it? Then they say that which is the witness of the three states. Now what is that? That the Swarup of which is Sat Chit Anand. Right? So what it is not? It is not the gross body, it is not the subtle body, and it is not the causal body. So we have read this gross body, we have done some portion of the subtle body, some portion is remaining, which will be taken up later on. In the meantime, we have done the causal body, or rather we are doing it. So what have we done so far? I'll just quickly review in causal body. So, Acharya says, Karan Shariram Kim Anirvachya Anadya Avidya Rupam. What are the three qualities of Karan Sharir? That which is inexplicable, Anirvachya, and that which is Anadya, which is beginningless. Anadya is beginningless, Anadi. And it is of the nature, Rupam, nature of avidya, ignorance. Then he says, Sharir dvayasya karan matram sattva swarup ajnanam. So it is the cause of the other two bodies which we have studied, gross and subtle, and it is ignorant about its own nature, Sat Swarup. Sat Swarup is your own nature, it is ignorant about. Sat is Atma. Atma Satyam. So Sat Swarup is your Atma, it is ignorant about that. Remaining Nirvikalpa and all that we'll do later on. So we had done Anirvachaniya. Now what is Anirvachaniya? That which cannot be explained. So why it can't be explained? It is inexplicable because last sentence of page 51a, since it has no shape, size or quality. It cannot be described by words or grasped by the mind. What are we talking about? We are talking of Karan Sharir. Then secondly, ignorance implies lack of knowledge. It does not actually have any existence, yet it cannot be said to be non-existent. We experience its effects. It manifests as the gross and the subtle bodies, and we also experience sorrow caused by ignorance. Being nothing, it still does a great deal, hence it is an inexplicable power. Right? So, like Ira was a little puzzled that why is it said to be the cause of sorrow? So, it exists and it does not exist. What does it mean? It means we experience it, but it can come to an end. So, but it cannot be perceived by the senses because it has no shape, size, quality, etc. So that is Anirvachaniya. Anadya, Anadi. It is beginningless because there is no particular time when it began. So when you say it began at that time, particular point of time, what was before that? Now, if before that was all knowledge, it could not have come from knowledge, then it would not be ignorance. And if there was nothing before that, then again nothing can come out of nothing only. So out here we have to understand how do we define time. Time is the measurement between two events. Otherwise there is nothing like time. If you don't have two events, then what are you measuring? So we say first event is when ignorance began. So if ignorance began at time X, then what was before that? That is what we are discussing. So since we do not know what was before that, we say, or rather logically there was nothing before that. So it was beginningless. Anadi. But Anadi does not mean it does not have an end. Anadi only means it is beginningless. It started with ab initio, but it has an end. When one attains knowledge, ignorance vanishes. That means it is Anadi, but not Anant. It does not have a beginning, but it has an end. Okay, can somebody send a message to Anilji on WhatsApp that the class has started?
He is saying that he won't be able to join today.
Okay.
He is in Vrindavan.
Okay, fine. Okay, then we have done this, and then on page 51 he is saying it is avidya rupam. It is of the nature of ignorance. Ignorance has no shape, size or quality. It is always related to an object. For instance, you are ignorant of computers or you are ignorant of some object, but ignorance per se you do not know what it is. But by itself it is objectless. I am the locus of ignorance. Ignorance cannot exist without me. I exist, therefore I can be ignorant. Now, there was some discussion about this yesterday. What is this trying to, Guruji, Swami Tejomayananda ji, what is he saying? He says, ignorance is objectless. But where is this ignorance? Does it exist actually? It exists for the simple reason that I do not know myself. But then, how do I know that it exists? Because I know I exist. I don't say I don't exist, but I don't know myself. So the ignorance resides in me alone. It prevents me from knowing myself. This is what the logic out here is. If there is a difficulty in grasping it, you can ask some questions. In fact, ignorance cannot exist without me is the heart of the matter. If you can somehow grasp this, I am going to translate this me, or I am the locus of ignorance, that I, to be the Atma. Now, if you say, I am the Atma, and I am saying that I am the locus of ignorance, what does it mean?
Does it mean that once I grasp the fact of Atma, the duality, and then I'll be, this ignorance will get lifted?
Yeah. So, you see, you have to start looking at it like this, that Atma per se is all pervading, and it is a Sakshi. So, where is the question of ignorance residing in it? But it resides. कहीं तो रह रही है ना, उसी में रह रही है.
It's like a veil that once we have enough knowledge, that gets lifted and we're able to probably see the Atma itself.
So, who is this saying once we see it, once our veil is lifted? Who's saying it?
That would be the gross and the subtle body together, because we just said the causal body pervades them. So I guess once they start seeing it, that there is even a deeper Atma, I guess. No?
The mind cannot see the intellect. The intellect can see the mind. The mind can see the eyes, the ears, the nose. The nose can't see the mind. The faculty of hearing, tasting, smelling, seeing cannot see the mind. But the mind can see all these. So, the further you go behind, you can see in front. But the front cannot see what is behind. So, as you are going back from gross to subtle to more subtle, you can't see back. So, the mind cannot see the Atma, nor the Karankari Shri can see the Atma, because Atma is subtler than all of them, is the subtlest. Right? So, here is the one has to really get involved and immersed to understand this concept. And if this is clear, then if it is clear, then Vedanta is a cakewalk. Now, what is to be understood is that all that is happening or perceived with something behind it. Like we discussed, there is a Devta of the sense of sight. Now that Devta which is empowering your sight is seen by the mind. That also has some Devta. That is also seen by the intellect. That is also seen by the ego. And it says, I am the owner of that. Now this ego also is being enlivened by something. Where is it getting the light from? There is somebody seeing that ego also, no? You have your eyes open, you close your eyes, 1/5 of the world goes away, you close your ears, that we discussed long back. You imagine all your 5 senses are shut off. The whole universe gets shut off. But even in that state, you know you are, I am. You are in a closed, dark room. Still you don't say, I need a light to see myself. And even if you become thoughtless, at that point of time, you know you exist. That existence is not denied. That existence is Atma. You will never see it. Because there is nothing beyond Atma. So you need something to see Atma, na? So Atma cannot be seen. Like you see all or perceive और प्रतीति जो होती है सब चीज़ों की, इस तरह आत्मा की प्रतीति नहीं होगी क्योंकि उसके पीछे कुछ नहीं है. बट जो कुछ हो रहा है वो उसी के प्रकाश में हो रहा है, उसी में हो रहा है. प्रकाश में हो रहा का मतलब ये कि unless Atma is there, nothing will be there. I am saying prakash in this sense. In the light of Atma, everything is happening. But since Atma is everywhere, it alone is, so everything is happening in it. Right? So even ignorance is happening in it. In that sense. Now, more than that, I think I cannot explain. You have to now use your meditative strength and a sixth sense to perceive this concept. Everything is happening in Atma that you have to sit down and meditate upon. And if you have questions after meditating on this, then we can discuss further. Okay. So we have done Avidya Rupam. I am the locus of ignorance. Ignorance cannot exist without me. कुछ नहीं exist करेगा, let alone ignorance. कुछ नहीं exist करेगा. I exist, therefore I am ignorant. Right? चलिए. So Anadi, next page 52, we have done Anadi, it is beginningless. We have finished this yesterday also, we have reviewed it today. Let us do the remaining. शरीर द्वयस्य कारण मात्रम cause of शरीर द्वयस्य, the two bodies, dva is two, asya is of the two bodies I am the cause, karan matram, right? Ignorance is the cause of two bodies. Which are the two bodies? The gross and the subtle. I mistake a rope for a snake. I feel scared and run away from it. Ignorance of the rope caused the notion of the snake, which gave rise to fear in the mind, which in turn prompted the body to run. Similarly, not knowing my true nature, I mistakenly identify with the finite, feel a sense of incompleteness, desire to fulfill myself, so run after objects thinking that they would make me happy. So I am saying what Ira had asked yesterday, this is sort of getting answered. He says, ignorance is the root cause of two bodies. So not knowing my true nature, being ignorant of my true nature, I mistakenly identify with the finite. What is my true nature? Infinite and eternal truth. Atma is Atma Satyam. So that is only truth. Since I do not know my true nature, so I mistakenly identify with the finite which I perceive. I don't perceive the Atma, so I take this to be myself. Then I feel a sense of incompleteness. Why do I feel a sense of incompleteness? Because my nature is complete. Atma is eternal, unchanging. It is complete. If it was not incomplete, it would be changing from one thing to the other. But it is complete, changeless, eternal. But I do not know myself. I take myself to be the finite and I feel incomplete. Now what do? I have a desire to fulfill myself, to complete myself. So what do? I run after objects thinking they will make me happy. So ignorance of myself, of my nature, makes me change the objects of the world under the mistaken belief they will complete me and make me happy. And that is the cause of my sorrow. Because they can never make you happy and complete. They themselves are nashwar. Ignorance is at the root of all my actions. Actions give results which I enjoy or suffer, and that leave behind tendencies. What happens when I do something? Either like it or I don't like it, enjoy or suffer. That gives rise to a tendency of like and dislike, which is called vasana. Now, whatever vasana I develop, if I develop a vasana for liking something, I want to do it again and again. If I develop a vasana for dislike, I will try and avoid it again and again. And this tendency prompts future desire, action, results. Desire for doing something I like, action to realizing that, and results again accordingly. Again, you like the results, you want to do them again. Hence, we can also say that inherent tendencies prompt actions. What are these inherent tendencies? These vasanas, they prompt the actions. We have already seen that the two bodies, gross and subtle, are the result of inherent tendencies, causal body, otherwise called the causal body. So these inherent tendencies which comprise the causal body are the cause of gross and the subtle body. They make you act to fulfill those vasanas. If you remember, once I had said that these vasanas make us get the body and the environment in which they can be expressed. Now another lakshanam, Sat Swarup Ajnanam. Ignorance of our true nature. I know I exist. I do not, however, know that my own true nature is existence, consciousness, bliss. I think I am the body, the doer of actions and the enjoyer of results. This is their ignorance. It is strange that I know so much about the world but do not know the knower of the world at all. And it is all the more ironic that the knower is me alone. But I don't know myself. I do not know who I really am. Right? This is Sat Swarupa Jnanam. Then last one is Nirvikalpam. So Vikalpa is options, thoughts, to do this or to do that. That is Vikalpa. Nirvikalpa is without any choice. So therefore ignorance is homogeneous. Right? It has no difference. It has no dualities of the knower and the known. Ignorance cannot be known. Knowledge dispels it. My ignorance cannot be different from yours. If I am ignorant and you are ignorant, they are the same. The object of ignorance may differ, but ignorance remains the same. So you may be ignorant about computers, I may not be ignorant about computers. But if we are ignorant, then that is the same. Ignorance is the same. There are degrees in knowledge, but in ignorance, but not in ignorance. So your knowledge of computers may be measured. I know this much, I know this much, I know that much. But ignorance has no measure. Being beyond thought, vikalp, it is without thoughts, nirvikalp. Ignorance is nirvikalp. Ignorance can be destroyed by knowledge. Therefore, the causal body is not eternal. The self, being beyond birth and death, is eternal. We said Atma is beyond birth and death. It is Satyam. It is the truth. It is eternal. But ignorance is not eternal. Hence, I am different from the causal body. So, Atma, I am different from the causal body, because causal body, though beginningless, has an end. But I am without beginning, without end. Thus, knowing my true nature, I experience myself as different from all the three bodies, gross, subtle and causal. So, Acharya Sri Adi Sankrachharya has written that Atma ka, we read that now? Atma kaha स्थूल सूक्ष्म शरीराद व्यतिरिक्तः. It is other than gross, subtle and the causal bodies. So this he has discussed. Though subtle body, he has discussed only 10 parts. The other 7 are remaining. 5 regarding the pranas and the mind and the intellect. Man and buddhi. That he will take up later. But all other parts is covered and shown that they are not the Atma. Right? Any question? So, I am doing the concluding prayer. You read this again, and if something is not clear, let's study it, understand it next time. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Shri Guru Bhyo Namah. Hari Om. Hari Om. May we all be blessed into reaching our destination. Hari Om. Thank you for joining.